So this might go back to that other video where I said men should know how to do things. Look, see that right there? How simple that is? People pay money for these things. Okay? It's called a pipe nail. All right? A pipe nail. Now, because it's what it does is on the flat end where the hammer goes, you use that in your pipe to tamp down your tobacco. Okay? Because what happens is that your ash will build up, and then your flame's not getting down to the or your embers not getting down to the tobacco, and your pipe will go out. So what you want to do is you want to lightly tamp it down, okay, and that'll smash down that ash. That way it'll compact it a little bit to where that ember is always touching new tobacco. Very simple concept. My grandfather used to do this with a pen. Okay, he used to just do it with he used to tamp down with a pen. I remember watching when I was a kid. He'd use sometimes a pencil eraser or whatever, and he just tamp it down with that. It's not a lot. This the flat end helps you get what we call the dottle out of the bottom of the pipe. The dottle is your leftover. It's your leftover tobacco. Okay, it's whatever's not burned. You kind of just go ahead and you just scrape it out like that, right? So I didn't buy this. What I did was I took a 2-inch nail, cut the end off of it, cut the sharp part off, and I put it on my anvil. You got an anvil. I have an anvil and a forge. This is mild steel. You don't need the forge for this. You just need something hard and a hammer. And then I went ahead and just flattened out that one side of it and created a pipe nail. Of course, it was flat across the top, but I've got a small. I mean, I'm talking about a little bitty, smallest one I've ever seen, a bench grinder, that I made by Chicago Electric that I picked up at Harbor Freight. Oh, jeez, man, 15, 20 years ago, and I still got the original stones on it and everything. And I just rounded off that edge. It was about $50, and I just rounded off that edge with that little bench grinder, and then on there's a buffer side to it, a buffer wheel to it, and then I just use that buffer wheel to clean up the edges, and that's it, man. It took me, I don't know, 3 minutes to make this entire thing. That's what I'm talking about. Just when you see something and you say, man, I want that, I need that right now, I need that tool. And even though it's something as small as a pipe nail, I'm glad that I had a pair of pliers. I'm glad that I had a pair of pliers to hold it. And then I'm glad I had an anvil to smash this thing on and a hammer to make it flat. But that just goes to show you, that even though this thing's only $2, they make them in freaking China. Well, I don't want my pipe nail made in China. I want my pipe nail made in the USA. As a matter of fact, I want to make my pipe nail myself. So that's exactly what I did. Don't buy these, okay? Go ahead and clip the end off of it with a strong pair of pliers, and then go ahead and just make it yourself. Very, very simple tool. And look, they sell these things that are hyper complex. By the way, I don't know if I have one around. Yeah, they sell these getters. Okay, you'll see these around if you're into pipe tobacco. You'll see these, and they've got a little pick, and they've got a spoon on there, and they've got a tamper. I've used it, and it's not a bad tool. There's nothing wrong with it. It has its uses. I just find that it's overkill. I never use any of that stuff. I'll use a tamper, but when it comes down to, I haven't used it since I made this. All right. So when it comes down to making tools for yourself, just being able to do for yourself, a little bitty pipe nail goes right there in your top pocket of your vest, and that's it. Now I will tell you this: this is a cool lighter. Okay, it's my pipe lighter, and it's my favorite lighter. takes butane, but it's got a soft flame on it. See that? Just pull it back, and it's got that soft flame, but it comes out of the side. That's what I like about it, because you can hold it over your pipe, over your pipe, and just draw that flame down into it like that. So, of course, when you want to smoke your pipe, that's what you're doing. Okay, you're sucking that flame down in. You don't put the flame to it; you suck that flame down into it. Okay. Anyhow, bottom line, you can do for yourself. But this lighter, what I want to show you, it's multifunctional. All right. Look, men like tools. We're men. So what's cool about this thing that I find handy is that I've got this thing in my pocket generally whenever I'm smoking, and so this thing flips up, and you can put your pipe in it. Okay, so you can, it'll rest multiple kinds of pipes, but you can put your pipe in it like that. Now you got a pipe stand, and that's pretty handy. And it also comes with, little gadgets and tampers and tools and stuff like that on the side. So everything that other tamper I just showed you, it's got a pick, and it's got this little scraper here. It's got everything you need, and then you don't have to use a nail. Cool thing about the nail is that the nail can fit in your pipe hand really easily, and then when you're using a lighter, you're using it just for the lighter. And but if you forget your nail, then you've got an extra tamper right there, because the tamper you are going to need. But anyhow, if y'all are interested, let me know in the comments if you're interested about this stuff or not. If you're not interested in it, fine. I'm still going to talk about it, but because some people are interested. But if you're not a pipe smoker, then maybe this has no use to you. But if you are, I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you.